So when we last left off, the entire group had just managed to use dream logic to exit out of the, or you're now standing inside of the.
I bet they lose more cover charges that way.
Little do you know, there's somebody waiting at the bathroom door.
It's a large bathroom, and it you guys wouldn't necessarily be able to see this, but there are 3 sets of doors. There is the men's door, there's the women's door, and then there's the middle door. And they all enter into the same long, extended restroom with rows of stalls.
Cool.
And so I'm going to go ahead and continue the dream logic, and instead of all piling out of one stall, as you all enter into the portal, effectively, you find yourselves in separate consecutive stalls.
Yes.
There are it's a hopping place, and there are people moving in and out.
I'm going to take a moment to dream pee while I'm in this dream toilet.
Okay, it's important. It's going to be a big scene. There's going to be a lot going on. You got to get yourself taken care of first.
I'm just hoping that doesn't mean my actual body is peed.
It's okay. You wear diapers before you go on.
Okay,
cool. But yeah, your respective, those of you who brought dream dates with you, they exit out of the same stall that you do.
Told you.
So April and Gerald follow closely behind. When you exit into the main bathroom, for this floor anyway, you see that there are, like, the imagery that is all around kind of has a kind of an, not Egyptian vibe, but like Mesopotamian, and there are just consistent lion images around, some with massive manes, some without.
Like Lion Pride, the Proud.
Got
it. Okay.
Yes.
I love it.
But the kind of has that, like, in Art Deco, the crisp lines and the patterns. It kind of has that, but with the kind of like ancient Egyptian kind of feel.
I look around, get a lay of the area, see all the lions. I'm looking for the bar, the dance floor, what floor we're on.
Okay, you're on one of the main floors. There are several different floors. The dance part is going to be below you, so you're slightly more upscale. The sound of the beat from downstairs can be loosely felt underneath you, so you can make out the songs. You might not be able to make out the lyrics, but there's this constant like pulsing from below, and you can hear the murmur of people from below, and it's quite a party down there. You can almost like see the strobe lights through the floor.
We need to get down there.
I'm picturing like some kind of EDM festival or something.
Yeah, exactly. But with all the flourish of a gay club, so there are like the guys in the Speedos with like a fake lion head.
Are the servers?
The uniforms. I like the uniforms. Okay.
And the like people walking around with they're actually kind of like whips, but they're fashioned to look like tails.
Okay.
They kind of like use to corral each other.
Spank each other occasionally.
Yeah. So that's all going on the floor below you. Where you guys are is as soon as you exit the restroom, there's going to be just a large expanse of how to describe this? Just there are various tables set up throughout, and a lot of them have circular kind of shapes. There's multiple levels. So when you exit, you're on one tier, and there's maybe 3 or 4 tiers total going all the way down to a centralized location that has the main bar for this section. It's the kind of place that you sit down and the waiters come to you to get your orders.
So if I was coming here for drugs, where would I be?
And all of most of the seating on the top tier where you guys enter into is semi-private. So there are booths that have curtains that can be opened and closed. There are wait staff hurrying back and forth. And yeah, does anybody want to give me a roll to look around and see if there's anything that jumps out to you?
Is there a floor man?
Uh,
I like somebody that watches the waiters and waitresses.
there is.
I take my silver fox, walk up to him, and I'll be like, "Have you seen a gentleman who would be alone, but still attracting a few attractive women, and maybe
And for the
trying
record,
to avoid?"
when you rolled to bring April, how many dice did you roll? It would have
It
been a
was equal
communication
to
check.
your.
If it was communication, then I rolled 4.
Okay. Make a note that April is +4.
You have a +4 April.
Oh, okay.
How many did you roll to get
Four
Gerald?
as well.
Gerald is +4.
+4 Gerald.
I have a +1.
Oh. Okay, so that's what you're doing. Is there everybody else kind of following in line? Does anybody else want to put any other actions on the table?
I'm gonna do the. Oh,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do the investigation check. So I'm gonna be looking for our guy, but also for anything else shady that could be happening in the bar that doesn't involve people whipping each other with tails.
This is the whipping is mostly downstairs. This is the kind of place where the wait staff is dressed in finery. The Art Deco feel is much more pronounced here.
I probably want to get downstairs then. I think that's more where he'd be.
I was gonna say that's more your scene.
Definitely
So,
more
I feel like he's
I
probably
w-
more
yeah.
hidden away.
I was thinking that we would want to look
That's why I'm asking
in
the
like
floor
the booths downstairs, so we could be like blending in with the rest of the club. But this upstairs seems like private deals are happening. So like if he was having
Maybe.
private deals. it'd be
Okay,
here.
so investigation check.
Is the dance floor downstairs then, I'm assuming? Like on the lower
14.
level of this tier?
There are 4 tiers where you guys are, and the dance floor is a completely separate level.
Oh, so we can't see it from where we are.
No.
feel it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just understand it's
Stand.
going on.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
Um,
I rolled a 14 for investigation.
Though actually, I retract that. As you look down the bottom tier, where the main bar is, it's the largest of the tiers. And there are people milling about. There aren't any tables on that tier. They're just kind of walking around and talking amongst each other.
Schmoozing?
Schmoozing.
Okay.
The 3 other tiers are the ones that have the booths. That bottom tier has a glass floor.
Okay.
And so you can see lights flashing up, and you can kind of see writhing masses
Nice.
below.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool place.
So I asked April if she wants to go dance with me for a minute. Not for like all night, just, go get a
And
sense
I
of things.
ask the floor man if there's that gentleman that me and my gentlemen are looking to have a particularly fun time.
Okay, so
Do you let Gerald go?
Gerald's okay with it.
So my intent is to kind of disappear into the crowd
Okay.
and to steal one of those whips just because it sounds like fun.
Sure.
I'm looking for.
My
I meant to
skill set
say I
is
was going to look
thief.
around the bathroom for graffiti because I'm trying to find like a drug connection. So it might, if we need to get into that.
I asked
To
him to
find our
turn
guy.
into a lion and just walking around with him.
I for it before we left.
Because he's a ditto, he's pink.
Steven Universe.
Yes.
No. Okay. Let's go in some order. So who wants to go first? Okay, it sounds like you guys are
It
kind of.
depends on how close you go with the floorman. If the floorman is right next to me, I'll go first.
Okay. Let's see. So you're wanting to go on the dance floor. You're wanting
For a
to
little bit.
talk to the floorman.
Mhm.
You're
I wanted to
looking
backtrack for a second because I meant to say before we left the bathroom I was going to look and see if there was any graffiti in there that might point me in a direction towards like the drug
I
connection.
hope there's no graffiti in the bathroom.
And what are the two of you planning on doing?
You had a thing.
I might dial up Access and ask for the most expensive dress they can send me and start walking my lion with his jeweled collar.
The Ditto is the lion?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course it is.
Lion. Have you seen Steven Universe?
Yes.
Yes. Lion.
Oh. Okay, so we're gonna start
He's
with
just going to look very
graffiti.
disdainfully
Okay.
to the
Oh.
next comes our way.
Lars.
I'm gonna by default, if you want to put a roll into it, we can. But by default, this is a classy place. If there's
Okay.
graffiti, it's gonna be hard to find.
Okay. I just wanted to see if there was anything obvious.
Sure.
So, but if not, that's fine.
Not so much.
We're going to metagame right here. You could ask for infrared or black light.
I don't want a black light because I don't want to see that.
Well, then, infrared.
I don't know. Does that show up in infrared too?
It depends on what's used.
How likely are they to be writing coded drug lord messages with something detectable by infrared, though?
It's dream logic.
It's
It could
dream
be.
logic.
Okay.
Hashtag dream
Well, then I
logic.
wear glasses.
Like,
I can
like
just.
I said, if you want to put
And now
a
I
ro-
can see infrared.
if you want to put a roll into it, we can go there. But by default, there's not going to be any graffiti.
Okay, not for now. I might go back later to it, but no, not right now.
You go in to write something.
Yes. Write something to communicate.
One thing that I will say, as you're glancing around, because you're specifically looking for it, in one of the stalls, the one that you came out of, there is some graffiti that has been rubbed off.
Someone's removed it.
And it is an upside down triangle with a line through it.
Oh, a pizza!
But it's been scrubbed off.
I'm guessing there's something to that I don't get. Since I
Nope,
was there
nothing.
last time.
Nothing to do. Nope, nothing. Nope.
Did I miss that last time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Will you explain it to me later?
But yeah, it jumps out to you as like something that was there, but it's been removed. Okay. Let's go ahead. You with the floor man.
Okay.
Give me a communication check.
Yes.
That looks like a no.
I'll
How
try-
badly do you want it?
I'll try again.
Okay.
Because that's not
Not
bad.
necessarily. It's people in Blue City who are trying to. Okay.
3.
That's 5 plus my 4. That gets it.
Okay. So he's rather occupied, and is having a hard time, like, at first he's not that interested in you, but with the piece of candy on your arm, he pays a little bit more attention, especially the fact that your piece of eye candy is an affiliate of Serial Tower organization.
Yes.
So he is inclined to answer your question. What is your question?
We're looking for a gentleman that probably is new, probably wants to be alone, but is still attracting attention. And here he can make a good time. A good time.
Next thing you know, you're led to a booth and it's got lots of things in it.
He
So I added the part, gentlemen that might be new.
kind of strokes his goatee and looks you up and down and looks Gerald up and down.
I'm the candy.
I know exactly the person you're looking for, sir. Right this way.
Oh my god.
And he leads you to a booth and opens up the curtain. And it's one of these round booths. And there's nobody sitting in there, but you see a mirror.
Oh.
And as you look in, you see your own reflection.
So you can have a good time with yourself in this booth.
I fit the bill.
Your
Great.
table, sir.
Thank you. I take a seat.
Of course.
Have you
All right.
caught in my own reflection? Do you see this, Gerald?
When you sit down, Gerald sits to one side of you with his arm around your shoulder, and in the reflection, Gerald is actually sitting on the other side of you. So there are two Geralds.
You wanted to have a good time.
I am having a good time
We're gonna have
now.
a threesome tonight.
The camera blinks, and suddenly there are two Geralds on your side of the mirror, one on each side.
Very trippy.
We drinks? Drinks!
The floorman smiles and
We need drinks!
like snaps, and a waiter comes by. This lady will take your order.
Thank you.
And
Scene.
the floorman then drifts away.
Closes the curtain.
Yeah.
Okay, who's up next? You were wanting to go down to the dance floor.
Yeah.
Navigation in Blue City is somewhat complicated. The dream world often makes it difficult to go from one place to another. It's rarely direct. I will give you the option of not rolling and seeing what happens, or you can make a navigation check.
Ooh, see what happens.
Yeah, see what happens.
I'm more inclined to see what happens. I think that I think that April might have a better idea of how to navigate this place, and she's with me.
That's fair. Do you want to add any particular panache to inviting April to the dance floor?
Oh shit.
In the dream world, suddenly a chariot
I
appears.
have no game.
Spoken like a true lesbian.
It's hilarious. You
Oh my God, we have
not
stories,
really
Sadie.
trying.
I have stories.
Be like,
I just seduced myself.
Quite effectively, I might add.
Really well.
be like, honey, I promise no great dance moves, but I put on lipstick for this. Let's go give it a shot.
I dance with you.
I need a night out. The suit needs a rest.
As you are walking by, or as you're walking, there's a waitress that is carrying a number of drinks, and April is listening to you, trying and as you try to navigate through the various tiers, and it's labyrinthine. But as you're saying, you need to give it a shot, or
Since
April.
the waitress is like passing by us with the drinks at the same time, I'm just gonna grab one. Like, I'm not gonna pay for it. I'm just gonna grab one,
Yeah.
down it, and put it back on the tray. Because I'm working up some nerves here.
April grabs 4 shots from the tray and hands 2 of them to you, and then says, "Let's give it more than 1 shot."
Yes. Go, April.
And then I'm not that steady on my feet as we walk away.
Sure.
Walk down the labyrinth.
The floor man, you kind of pass by him, and you're like making turns to try to get to the stairs to go down.
Okay.
And you have to pass by some bouncer type figures. But the fact that you're going that way means there's going to be no problem. But you're making the wrong turns, and the floorman kind of up and points you the other direction.
Well, thank you. Thank you, kind sir.
You will be remembered.
He gives a smile, and he's just happy to be of service.
I look slightly tipsy. I'm not a threat.
It's not all, like, there are some people that go to this establishment and they stay on the floor that you guys entered on, and they just like to feel above it all. And they like the public privacy. It's not all that uncommon for the elites on that level to get intoxicated and then join the riffraff downstairs.
This is part of the course then.
And sometimes bring up some of the riffraff. Because while the booths are semi-private, there are more private accommodations around. Okay.
I was holding my action, so
Yes.
I thought of what I wanted to do.
Okay.
I would like to make an investigation check and look for like anyone who might be checking me out. And
There you go.
like so any of the booths with the curtains that are open that like the people are looking at me
Uh-huh.
so that I can talk with them.
I'm not. My booth is got. There's some action in my booth. Whoa!
Your
Okay.
booth is full of 3 people in it.
We'll get to that in just a second.
Okay.
Agent Tinker and Schreiber, what are you guys doing? Remind me.
Well, Schreiber was looking for graffiti in the bathroom.
Okay.
That was before we all left the bathroom,
Yes.
though.
Now,
Okay.
now that you've all left the bathroom, what is Tinker and Schreiber?
Alright, well, I let Ditto, Shu.
You turned Shu into a lion.
I turned Shu into a lion. I let my shirt become a ironically trashy dress. And I'm just, you said Ditto, Shu had his own thought process, his own things that are going on. He was made for me by Tucker, so I'm just going to be like, you know what, Shu, lead the way.
Okay.
So I'll be like, come on, baby, show mama around.
And what is Schreiber doing?
Schreiber's researching something at the moment. Hang on.
Okay.
I'm going to send you a text about something,
All right,
but I'm
and
trying to
just
figure out how
like,
to say it.
Sure.
It's part of the running joke about the dog.
Okay.
At some point, I mean, I can see if I... So that'd
Oh,
be
you got
12.
2 sixes.
Ooh. To contact them, I'll explain what I want through the text.
Okay.
But basically, I want a dog.
Okay.
But it feeds into something else.
All right.
Before I do that...
Me and my pink lion just strutting around.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if my lion don't like you, then keep walking.
I love everything about what you're doing right now.
So, I will say that, like with you guys, actually, but amongst all of you, you're getting a little bit of side time, which is fine. There is one figure that eventually pops out to all of you. It's not the subject, but it appears to be the subject's boyfriend. And he is kind of sulking in a booth
By himself?
by himself.
Did we ever use my investigation check? Because I rolled a 14 when we got in here, but I don't think that ever happened to anything.
I will say that that's what
Okay.
gives you that information.
Okay.
And he is occasionally looking at a door, and that leads to one of the private rooms. On the very top tier, there are the private rooms that have one-way windows. and he is frustratedly staring at one of those private rooms. But before anything can be done with that,
And this is the boyfriend that we're
Yes.
see. Okay.
before anything can be done with that, while
Are the servers of any gender or just one?
across the board.
Okay, cool.
And when you go onto the lower, like when you're on the floor that you guys entered in, the elite floor, they're all wearing like fairly androgynous dress shirts with ties, and on the dance floor, it's more the speedos and barely covered and like just the
Leather
works.
straps.
Right, all over the place.
Actual mains.
But while everybody's enjoying the various parts of the club, Agent Tinker and Agent Dexter, you do see that there is a booth that is empty, but the floorman walks by you and nods to it.
Come on, Shu. Go towards the booth and just kind of slide in, pet Shu, put braids in his mane.
Now, do I see this sulky boyfriend
Yes.
even from where I'm at in this labyrinth?
What I'm gonna say is
I'm not
that
sure how far I
you
got.
were aware of him,
Mhm.
like when you went down to do the dancing.
Okay, so I'm done with the dancing.
The dancing's still going on at the moment.
You're trapped.
I want to assume I stole a whip, though.
That, I will grant that.
That's one.
It's part of the mission.
Yeah.
And I saw him because the curtains are opening, closing a lot with the door, the floor man, the waitress, and I'm like, hey, Gerald's. There's two of them. Let's invite him over. He seems sulky and lonely. Waitress.
I'd like to deliver a drink to that table.
No, we'd like to deliver the boy here.
Okay.
And then kill him. What? What?
I kind of want to make my way back up to this upper tier level, but not so high. I want to be kind of veering toward the employee entrance.
Mhm.
And I would like... Okay, and I'm going to ask April.
Mhm.
Hey, sweetie, would you mind going to get me one of those very fancy pink drinks?
Like a night off and I'm still bartending.
I mean,
didn't
if she
ask
wants
you
to
to
get
make
some, it might
one.
be a good way to do it. Be like, sure, I'll get you the drink.
Okay.
She'll go off. to get
Okay,
it.
so she's leaving me alone for a minute because I'm going to be a little sneaky.
Okay.
And I am actually... Okay, what I'm trying to do is get one of the employees alone, basically.
Mhm.
And I want to say, hey, aren't you ready for a night off? Why don't we trade places?
Okay. Give me a communication check, and you're doing this on the elite floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Communication check. 10. So it doesn't make.
Not quite.
Unless you can use your whip in there somehow.
The whip. Any object that you find in Blue City is a +1 by default.
Oh.
So if you work your whip into this
Yes.
request,
Stroke it down their cheek and then
Be
smack them on
like-
the butt with
I
it.
really
And that
want to wear one of those
that
cute
+1
uniforms.
does
It'll
not
be great
add
with
to your
my
heart
whip.
rate.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
Totally ad-libbing that.
the server.
But that 10 does add to your heart rate.
Okay, so the 10 adds to my heart rate.
The +1 does not.
But does that mean I would pass then
Yeah, you pass.
to make this happen?
Yes. The +1 makes it 11, so you succeed.
I keep
Okay,
on forgetting
so-
that bonuses don't code.
We're trading uniforms essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd like to use my new employee uniform
Mhm.
and sneak into this private room offering assistance to our subject.
Okay. So you're heading to the room that the boyfriend
So-
was looking at.
Right. So he thinks that I'm working there, but it's a way to get close to him.
Sure. Okay. We'll get to that in a sec.
Okay.
And Agent Voss, you were inviting the boyfriend over?
Yes.
Okay, you want to give me a roll on that?
What am I rolling?
This would be communication.
Oh, I'm amazing at that. Do I have +8 now with 2 Geralds?
No. It's just the highest bonus that you've got.
Got it.
Okay. All right. The waiter that you call over goes to pass the message along to the boyfriend.
It's not a request.
Uh-huh. So those two are actually like moving in on the mission. So what I'll say, I'll kind of jump to the chase with what I was gonna do with Tinker and Dexter. The floor man sees the two of you walking close to each other.
Jeez, whoa.
Was that me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't think. On mine, it's all one. Sorry. Come on.
Okay, so just a sec. Let me look through this.
There's going to be one more. Just kind of an example picture of what I was talking about for the shoulder thing. Also good for rogues and halflings.
I totally play a rogue in my D&D campaign.
I'm always a rogue or a ranger, it seems like. I have a thing about that.
I'm no good at sneaky. I'm like, look at me and my pink fucking lion.
Meanwhile, I'm like, okay, I'm going to send my possum up to scout, and I'm just going to stay in the shadows. One of our first games, I actually had a possum named Pele.
I remember Pele.
Had to keep him from dying at the very end. It's like, somebody scoop him!
In my campaign, I play a drow rogue assassin that's chaotic good. Nobody likes a drow. Nobody likes the rogue part of this. But at least I'm a slightly more trustworthy than the lawful evil character that just joined our party.
There you go.
I finally figured out what that says.
What?
The 20th century art book. I've been staring at that for so long.
It probably didn't help that it's that way. If it was that way, it might be easier to read.
Okay. Give me the check. Give me the logistics check.
Wasn't that what I rolled earlier? The
For the-
14? Yeah.
For this?
When you were, no, that was when you were looking at
The
graffiti.
No, that was after. The 14 that I rolled before that took me up to 110. That was for that. Because I said, I'm going to go ahead and roll this, and then I'll explain what I want in the text.
Yes.
Okay. For future reference, tell me what you're rolling for before you roll for
Okay.
it. So you got a 14 on that?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna have to think on that a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So to set the scene, you are entering into the VIP room in the guise of an employee. You are inviting the sulking boyfriend over.
Where were you at?
I was sitting in a private booth.
So I would be over there with you then, I guess.
I think we had split up at some point because you were doing your thing, so I started wandering around with my lion.
Just typing. I'm somewhere near you.
Let's say while you're haggling with control to try to get this, you're still in the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay. So that means that the two of you are invited to sit in a booth that will give you a view of both the sulking boyfriend as well as the room that the VIP the target appears to be in.
Would you like a Midori sour
Yes,
or
please.
coffee? There you go.
As you take the seat, the floorman kind of slides in next to you and kind of leans back, pulls a cigar out of his jacket, and lights up.
Do I know you?
Kind of gives a grin. So, you two are in with the supervisor, are you?
And who might you be?
And this would be you and you?
Yeah.
He gives the biggest grin. Who was your mentor?
My mentor was
Gardener?
Agent Gardner, but they were
Gardner?
killed in action.
Okay, and who was your mentor?
Snyder.
Snyder? Okay.
Mine's better too.
The floorman kind of, again, he's smiling with a big old grin and looks to the two
How
of you.
is Shu reacting to him?
Obediently.
Okay.
I'm guessing this is
No.
So you're one of Gardner's and you're one of Snyder's. Oh. But you're in the supervisor's pocket now. You're with Tucker.
Well-
Doing his bidding.
That remains to be seen.
So, tell me, how do you feel about Tucker right now? He ashes the cigar.
I'm still like, bitch, I don't know you. I'm putting braids in Shu's mane. Like, unless there's a free drink here, I'm gonna go look around.
This is on a need-to-know basis.
That's fair. What do you do with the cigar? Do you just damp it out?
If you're going to put it out, yeah, you would just
You damp it out.
damp
yeah,
it.
You,
Yeah.
Okay.
you don't smash it like you were saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He very delicately just puts it out, puts it back into a case, and with the grin, no, that's fair. Next time you see him, tell him that Agent Miner says hello, and with that he bows and disappears into the crowd.
Oh no! He's gone.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm still proud I didn't say shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get out my bedazzled phone and I text Agent Tucker.
Oh shoot.
Just seen your boy.
Your boy's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
By the way.
By the way,
How does Agent Tucker respond to that? If he responds at all?
he currently is not responding.
Okay, he's not responding.
But he there's just where he's at, he's not responding.
Okay, with that, I'm going to do a cutscene. We're going to take another small break, and then we'll get to the denouement of the mission itself.
Sweet.
Since you guys are all
Leaning down to Shu, he's like, what do you think, buddy?
kind of shrugs, and starts licking the legs of the table.
That's Mama's baby.
It's gonna be like Momo. Just start chewing on one of the rungs.
I'll just be like, that's right, that's my baby.
He does not have teeth, so he would just be.
I'm gumming on it.
Gumming. Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna
Okay.
take a potty break then.
Gotcha. Okay.
Um,
Let's see.
so, okay, yeah, I guess we're going to go ahead and just take a break now. Then I will do the cutscene